On February 9th, 2023, our first order of business is public input. Public input shall be limited to statements from the public relating to any issues with the jurisdiction of the Chelmsford Zoning Board of Appeals that are not currently the subject of a pending public hearing before the Zoning Board of Appeals. Public comment on any pending public hearing shall only be heard during such public hearings. Is there anyone that would like to speak tonight? It's in the audience?
Yes.
Yes, sir? Can I get your name and address?
Ready for me? Mel Schuler and Jocelyn Schuler.
This is for.
With the special permit. We
Oh,
filed.
no, we're not ready for you.
Okay.
Very soon, though, very soon.
Wanted to check.
So you didn't pay attention.
He's just eager. He's eager. It's
Ready to
okay.
go, ready to go.
He's eager. We like that.
Okay, we have no administrative review and a new public hearing. 10 Wildwood Street, Mel and Jocelyn
Schuler.
Shoot.
Shula, excuse me, requesting a special permit under section 195(8), nonconformity, and/or 195(9)(b), conformity for a 20% reduction in the side, rear, and front setback requirements to build a new single-family dwelling on a previously approved buildable lot and any other relief deemed necessary. This property is located in the residential B district. Good evening.
Now I get up.
Now you can get it.
Welcome to the BOA.
First of all, Jocelyn and I would like to thank you for meeting tonight. We really appreciate it. We knew we had missed the February 2nd meeting, and this is kind of important to us with the schedule of when we wanted to start construction. So thank you. We really
Sure, it
appreciate
was,
it.
yeah, we want to keep it moving
We
along.
had done a narrative. I don't know if you want me to read it or just go over some highlights of what
You
we-
can go over the highlights. I think the narrative is in the record, so we don't
Okay.
need to
All
re-enter
right,
it.
good. One of the things that we're looking to get a special permit is we're looking to build a retirement home, which is 40 feet wide by 38 foot deep. And with the previously approved lot, it was only 30 feet deep and 37.9 wide at the closest point to the easement. And there's a couple of things going on with the lot itself. Is it has a 30-foot easement going through it, which is a town drainage, and it also has a 10-foot paper street off of the pavement, and that pushes the lot deeper back. So that's one of the reasons why we started looking at this. Her brother, Jack Fletcher, which was going to build first, decided not to build, and then my wife and I took a look at it. I went down to the Board of Appeals, talked to Becky, found out about the special permit, which we didn't know about. And with that special permit, we could do 20%. So what we were looking for is 8 feet in the front, 3 feet in the back, and 4 feet on the side. We've already spoken to all of the neighbors, and we've spoken to the riders. We've spoken to Mrs. Bentoncourt. We've spoken to Mrs. Toto. She didn't have a problem with it, but Mrs. Toto said she was going to talk to her son. So, but she seemed okay with it. One of the things that we are going to do is put up a 2-car garage on the other side of the easement, which isn't part of the special permit. There's enough room there that that 2-car garage can fit there, okay? With that, we purchased the land on December 21st, 2022. It's been in the family, the Fletcher family, since 1898. It's family-owned since that long. We wanted to do one-floor living, and because we're getting older and we're looking for the master bedroom, master bath, everything at one floor, that's why the size of the house. We met with an architect, and she said 40 feet wide by 38 feet deep. We'll give you what you're looking for, and then we're going to put a second floor on with 2 bedrooms and a bath. That's so when the kids come over and the grandkids come over, we can ship them upstairs.
Sure.
Okay, so that's the reason for the second floor. I had spoken to Dennis Greenwood for the town, and my wife and I were concerned about the easement. And one of the things we wanted to do is have the drainage inspected before we start construction, and then after construction, before we put the pavement down for the driveway, we want to have it inspected again to make sure nothing's wrong. And he said, yes, he would do that, because we don't want to have to put the driveway down and have a rain and then something problem, and then they tear up the new driveway. So that's one of the reasons why I went to the town and talked to them about that.
Ah, a good idea.
So that's the biggest thing. One of the things we did is we reached out to finance builder, Alan Costa. I met him down the site, talked to him what we wanted to do, and he said yes, he'd be able to do that, and he'd be able to do the construction for us. So that's where we are now. I don't know if you have any questions for us, or
So where is the driveway?
it's going to be over the easement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
When you pull in, you can pull into the driveway to the left, and then the house would be on the right.
Yeah, the garage on the left.
Any further questions from the board at this time?
And the drain, what is the drain right now? Is there a pipe or some kind of like?
They think it's concrete.
Okay.
But that's one of the reasons why they're going to inspect it, to see. There are 2 big pine trees in the easement right over the pipe, and that's one of the things we're concerned about, is the root system of the trees that have been there for so long that it could have already clogged the drain. So that's one of the reasons why we want it inspected, you know what I mean, and be able to make sure everything's okay.
It's not concrete or steel, it'd be concentrate,
Yeah,
sinkage with the
it's,
pavement, vehicle weight.
I
Yep.
mean, the town is responsible
Freezing.
for the drain, so Dennis is gonna investigate it before they start construction, and then,
Hate for you to pour
After.
something and then they have to come up and tear it.
you know, it seems to be the proper way to go about it, so they're protected.
What was the circumstances that limited the brother not building before?
The type of house they wanted to build, they just decided that they just put a new porch on, a new deck, and they decided, now we're going to build a new house, and they talked about it. They even put their house on the market, and then they took it off the market. They told the brother, my wife and his sister, that we decided not to build. That's when we decided to look at it and see what we wanted to do. We live on the corner of Wilson and Barica Road here, and the traffic is getting pretty tough to get out, because you have the traffic from Wilson Street, and then you have the traffic from Barica Road. So, and we decided it's time to get off the busy street.
If there's not any further questions, I'm gonna read the letters that we have. This is a denial letter, which is entered in, and this is the overview, so, okay, here we go. I have a letter from the town engineer. Dear members, this office has reviewed the certified plot plan dated December 20th, 2022. As a result of this review, this office has the following comments. DPW engineering has no comments for the special permit nonconformity. Comments for consideration with building permit. DPW engineering has reviewed the certified plot plan for the proposed 40 by 38 house. This plot plan has one associated sewer stub. DPW, under its rules and regulations, can allow for the 40 by 38 house to connect the existing stub in Wildwood Street by a licensed contractor not associated with associated permits pulled from the DPW sewer trench road opening. However, the detached garage cannot connect to the municipal sewer system. DPW engineering, after review of the certified plot plan, will not allow any permanent structure to be built on or across the 30-foot drainage easement. Anthony Rapucci, town engineer. I have a letter from the Chelmsford Fire Department, Fire Prevention Office, regarding 10 Wildwood Street. Dear members of the board, this office has reviewed the proposal for a new home at 10 Wildwood Street and finds the following. The entire home shall be equipped with life safety systems as required by 780 CMR 51 standard for new construction at the time of application for a building permit. The home shall have hardwired, interconnected smoke, carbon monoxide, and heat detectors in all required locations. The applicant shall upload a plan showing all life safety devices to their building permit application. The applicant shall submit an application for an address to the Town of Chelmsford E911 Committee through its chairperson, Tricia Druez. This office would approve this application with these conditions. I ask that the board make this letter part of their approval process. As far as I know, you have an address.
Yes, Becky had sent me
That
up.
often comes in with in-laws, so maybe it was just a typo, but I mean, either way, I think
We have
an
the address.
We don't have
Yeah,
the concern.
we filed for that
Because it doesn't have
911.
a house on it.
From the Board of Health, public hearing. After consulting with the DPW Sewer Division, The single-family home may be tied into town sewer. There will be no sewer or septic connected for garage. And then I have a letter from the engineer. I think I'm just reading, I have 2 copies of that. So that is all the letters I have from the town. Are there any questions or comments regarding this application from the audience tonight? We on Zoom? Good evening, sir. If I could ask
Good
your name
evening.
and
John
address.
T. Conrad Jr., 3 Wildwood Street, Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Just to say, we've had the greatest neighbors that ever lived in this town, and I'll tell you, their father and their grandfather had this land for many, many years. And I hope that you people will award them the right to do this, because we want them as neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none,
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
by Jamie, second, Charlie, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Think we can take this up right now?
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty,
Straightforward, all these setbacks allow for a special permit. It's definitely improvement on the last approach, which was the variance, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the special permit request for the application of 10 Wildwood Street under the section 195-8-8 nonconformity with a 20% reduction of the side, rear, and front setbacks.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous? Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
One thing I'd like to say.
Too late.
I just want to say, you hear a lot dealing with the towns and everything on the boards. My wife and I have gotten so much help from Becky, Jose, and Evan. It's been fabulous. And
Excellent, excellent.
I just, you don't hear a lot of good things, and I just want you to know, being new to this, that was a very, very good experience for us.
Very much
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
hearing that.
Thank you.
That's good.
Enjoy. Have a good night.
good difference of.
Okay, do we want to look at the minutes?
The discussion for the update and
Yeah.
what's here.
Oh, we're going to do
minutes,
discussion?
yeah.
Okay, we'll do that first. So as we talked about last week, proposed zoning bylaw amendment continues on. I went to planning board last night and had a productive meeting. They took a straw poll and said that 5 of the members were willing to endorse the plan as it was. 2 members had some questions. I spoke to one of the members tonight, got some clarification. What we agreed to, it's pretty much in this paper here, so.
Nancy.
That's a side.
In the RB district, we would ask for a 6% increase in the overall, going 15% to 21%. That's 40% of 6 is 40% of 15, so that would be the case in the RB, which had great support. When we got to RC, we stumbled a little. There was concerns about the two-family issue, but as I've done the math, the two-family as it sits in an RC zone is allowed 2,100 feet, and it would go up to 2,600 feet, which is 500 feet more. But of that, it gets divided into 2 houses if the choice is made to make it a two-family. If it's not, you could put a larger house, but not
Well, 2
significantly.
houses are 1 two-family house.
You would have a two-family. I don't think you could separate them. Well, you
Could
could
you?
if you had, because you have to have the setbacks between both houses.
So this was the conversation that I brought up the other night, like,
Yeah.
like across from
You're-
Center, where they put they put 2 single-family houses on 1 lot. I'm not talking about the 2-family that's right across
Across
from
from
Center
the
School, but like
center?
diagonal down the street.
So a two-family is one building with 2 units in it. That is considered the two-family. It's not two separate single-family homes by definition, am I correct? A two-family
You
in
would-
this
You would need to have
definition,
separation between both houses too, which is,
right, a
it's
two-family
just
in
not
this
typical.
regard is one whole building.
Which is not typical, but is it possible?
Yeah, but then it doesn't become a two-family, it's a single-family
Then it
home.
becomes,
that would be,
Then we
that
deal
would be
with
two
single-
structures on
Of
one
one
lot.
lot, and that's a
Two-
different,
I
can
don't
that
think
be,
that's, that would fly. I don't
Yeah.
think that would be approved.
that's not two-family. A two-family unit under this definition is one building with two family homes in it. That makes it
Connected in some sense.
So what
with a
about if
Garages in the
firewall,
middle.
like a
like a firewall in
condo.
between.
Yeah.
Well, what if they're put into like a condo association? Like, remember like the
Well,
seven
they could
things?
still make it condos. They could do that with a connected property.
But they wouldn't have to be connected?
Jose, am I understanding that correctly? That if it's a two-family lot, could you have two separate structures on a two-family lot? Or do they have to be connected?
Two family,
In RC zoning,
that's, I mean, two,
RC.
a two family, whether they're connected or not, if they are deeded two families, so
you would be able to put, if you chose to, two separate structures, but you'd still need the setbacks for the houses themselves also, right? For the fire department, you
Yeah.
need to get through.
What's the definition of a two-family home?
Do they have to
That's
be
the
connected?
question.
Does it have to be?
In the
two
same
connected?
building
Can I just
structure?
simplify this?
Yes.
The proposal, please look at the proposal.
Yeah.
In number 3 and number 4, council's added language where this is not applicable to lots containing multiple dwelling units on one lot. So if you look at number 3, the last sentence, this provision shall not apply to lots containing more than 2 single-family structures or more than one two-family structure.
Okay, so that's not a concern, even if it is allowed, it's not allowed with this.
This is dealing with
Thank
what
you.
Jamie's referring to, is one structure with two dwellings in it.
Great.
A traditional, prototypical two-family.
Like what's the address with the guy who was trying to improve the home for his daughter to live next door in that single
Third lane.
house? What lane was that?
Third Ave, a third
Third,
lane.
the Third Avenue one.
Right off.
That's what this multifamily, or,
But they were
Yeah.
connected, I believe.
yeah,
They
that's
were
what
connected, it
this.
just would have allowed them more, the space to put the garage and to.
Right, they
do
would
it.
have been
And
able to do
improve the
that. with-
kitchen. They
kitchen,
wanted to
right.
expand the kitchen and add garages, but it
Right.
got denied because of
I'm
the
sure
land
they
ratio.
would've qualified. That was a pretty big project. I don't know if they would have gotten the whole thing, but it
percentage-wise,
would
they
have been
would've.
much closer, for sure.
Yeah, it would have put them right.
Much closer.
Yep, absolutely.
Instead of, I mean, they pretty much had to hack job their plan because this would at least allowed them much closer
No,
than.
because this is restricting this
Could have
provision.
adjusted a little as opposed to changing the whole project.
Yeah.
but this is kind of.
I mean, they had to almost eliminate.
They just for single family.
No?
So what did come up last night is that we did not approve this. We did not take a motion and vote for it. And so that would be the next step.
Structures on one lot.
Once that is voted on and approved, then the planning board can take it, and they are willing to endorse it. They had a straw poll, and they had 5. I hope the one person I talked to today felt comfortable with what we talked about. I think there were still concerns about the two-family getting too big, but if they're connected, I just can't see that being a big issue.
Well, and then there's restrictions on the size they can go anyways.
Yeah, the dimensions
Right,
are, the
right.
dimensional requirements are stay the same, and there are single-family homes in the RC, so to just say, don't allow it in RC doesn't help us at all either. I think
Right.
we've balanced it as best we can.
So
Seems-
but the planning board doesn't, they're not voting on it.
The
Oh,
planning
they're just
board
going to
will
endorse
vote on it, and what
town
they do is
meeting.
endorse the
Yeah.
idea. This will happen with the select board,
Yeah.
and I think,
Go to
Finance
FinCom, it'll
committee.
go to
FinCom,
Select
that's the
Board,
other
and
one.
ultimately Town Meeting.
and then town meeting will take it up again, and they will make the final determination whether to change the zoning law or not. And hopefully, we present it in such a way that they understand the need. I mean, literally, if these facts come up and as they are, we just can't approve it. We
Right.
cannot give it a variance.
So,
By getting the special permit, we have the ability to approve it or not. We're not giving up anything, in my opinion. We're just giving ourselves the ability to approve it if we decide it's right. But the same vetting process is there, it's all the same.
So does this issue ever come up with two families though? Like, I know we've had this issue with single families, which is why I feel like this has come up, right? It has been like the,
Third Ave.
it has.
It
Third
came up with
Avenue.
Third Ave.
Yeah,
It
Third
came up
Ave
with Third
was.
Third Ave would have been an example of it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a two-family home, and there was a garage, like, right on the property line that they were moving over here, and then they were trying
Two
to.
garages
yeah,
and expand the kitchen.
Yeah, and the garage, they would move the
And it
existing
was a
garage
small
off the lot
It was a
line.
very small lot.
Maybe I do
Yeah,
remember.
this
is
that.
where you
Did
really
we
stumble
approve
as a
it though?
small-
And all
Yes.
the neighbors were in favor. Did
Yep.
we
Yes.
approve
was-
it?
The dad
was-
was
I think
trying
the
to
board was
improve
in
the,
favor.
for the,
I
for the daughter and
Right.
her, and her
And did we
son.
approve it or did we
No,
not?
we
Because we
couldn't.
couldn't, because we
And
needed a
They
variance.
ended up
denied 3-2.
reducing both garages
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
single-bay garages to accommodate it.
Yeah,
and,
I remember now. Yeah.
The
I think
crime was
The
so
even the
minimal.
kitchen even had to be, the kitchen portion even had to be cut back a little bit. if I'm not
So would
mistaken.
this cover, is that a good example? Like, would this have covered that, this increase?
I don't think they would have got it. Do you think so,
The-
Evan? You would have got it all? I think
Yeah,
they
Not
would
the
have.
original.
I think so.
I handed that example out to planning board, I have it here with me.
The original would have gotten
The
approved?
math would
That's a
have.
good example.
Right.
Just me,
Right.
because that was pretty
And they
big.
were- Yeah.
Yeah, I love, this was super helpful though in your
But,
email. I
but the
found this
lot
really
for them
helpful
was
because
really
it's-
tiny. They had a very small, I mean, it was like postage stamp
And then there
small.
was the portion of the lot was sold to another lot.
Yes,
It shrunk
the
it
neighbor
even farther,
behind.
which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
but It was
It was
done.
what it was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was even sold. I think it was just transferred.
Yeah.
Someone's trying to be a good neighbor, and they got,
Yeah.
these people got bit as a result.
Does,
Okay,
yeah,
would
does anybody
someone
from
like to make a motion to approve the changes proposed?
should we have any concerns from like a new? I feel like from our perspective, this is helpful for people wanting to kind of add on, like that example exactly. But from
This
like
is
a
all,
new
this is all
build
for
perspective-
pre-existing non-conforming. This is all related
So
to
none of this would apply
pre-existing
to new.
non-conforming
A
structures.
new lot has to really be,
Just-
tear down.
Just to clarify, so the existing 20% reduction, which is on the books now, that applies to any scenario, whether it's pre-existing or not pre-existing. The new number 2 is specific to the table in the 195-8. Okay, so that deals specifically with pre-existing nonconformities,
Nothing really changes there.
correct. Number 3 also is specific only to pre-existing nonconforming lots and structures. So that's the 40% for single family, 30% for two families. And needs to be clarified, because it was asked at the zoning board, I was asked at the planning board, whether provision number 3 is town-wide. And yes, it's any single family or any two-family anywhere in town, not just in the RB or RC. And I think the zoning board understands that. And then the fourth one is to increase the FAR, which is similar to provision 1. It can apply to any scenario. It can apply to a by right scenario and/or a pre-existing nonconformity. I'm sorry, number 4 is restricted to pre-existing nonconformity.
It is.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So the new provisions
for
only
pre-existing.
deal with pre-existing nonconformity.
So they wouldn't apply for new builds. yeah,
Correct.
Which would, yeah.
Correct,
yeah.
right.
And it's only, as you can see for the FAR, containing no more than 2 single-family or 1 two-family structure.
Yeah.
So they can't add or expand, if they have, for some reason, have 2, if it's the condo association, 7th Lane,
It
it
can't be
has
two
2.
structures on one
Yeah,
lot.
then this wouldn't apply if they want to expand those 2 multifamily homes, it wouldn't apply.
Correct. That sounded like a motion.
I'll make a motion to not approve, but back or support.
To approve, I think would be correct, to
Are we
approve
approving
the
or supporting
proposed
these proposed
changes
changes?
To approve.
to be
Okay.
presented to the
Planning board for vote.
planning board, the finance,
Can
the
we
select
support the
board,
proposed
and eventually the town meeting.
I'll make a motion to support the new provisions recommended in 195-9 in reference to the increased reductions in dimensions to 20%, up to 30% for two-family and 40% for single-family.
Just as drafted. 'cause
As drafted, I'm sorry, yes.
Again, the ZB, I think the confusion for the planning board was the ZBA was focused solely on the provision 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, no.
But planning board members were wondering if the zoning board was aware and discussed provisions 2 and 4.
Can I just say as drafted?
Yes.
As drafted, presented under the 195.9 conformity required reduction of dimensional requirements.
Do I have a second?
All right, I'll second.
Second by Nancy. All in favor?
Do we all need to vote?
Opposed? Got 5, yeah. Seeing none, it's unanimous. So this will go back to the planning board, and we believe we'll have an endorsement. It has not changed. Then it will go to FinCom, and then it will go to the select board, and then to town meeting in the spring, we hope. These changes, should they proceed that path, could be, what is it, 90 days for the Mass General Law to kick in as well, to review the changes?
The, upon town meeting approval, we have
Attorney
to submit it
General.
to the State Attorney General's office, and they have 90 days.
So potentially in August, I think, would end up being the potential date, should this all work
The
out.
town meeting's in April, isn't it?
Yeah, Springtown meeting, that's our goal. Would like to think about the minutes a little.
Oh, thank God Nancy is here. Which one is this? Oh, I don't have to do anything.
I will make a motion to approve the January 5th, 2023 minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Second?
I second.
Oh, you second, I'm sorry. All in favor? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's unanimous. Minutes are approved.
I'll make a motion to close, adjourn.
All in favor?
Wait, should we go
Unanimous.
over our next meeting or whatever?
Yeah, we can, it's,